Hello YouTubers, welcome to Agape Collective. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Eleni and I'm so pleased that you have found my channel. I am new to the YouTube world and so I would just like to share that my intention in creating this channel is that I would like to inspire and empower viewers to cultivate a more balanced and healthy relationship with the self and other. I believe that we are in a time of remembrance, and part of that remembering is that of sacred union. And I feel it is my role in creating this channel to spark those memories through the teachings of sovereignty and the importance of remembering and reclaiming our inner sovereignty. And over the last few years, I have been developing a methodology that I call the Yenisi, which I use a lot with the work that I do, and it is the basis to a lot of what I will be sharing here on this channel, as well as my own lived experiences in terms of relationships. So let this channel be a safe and sacred space that you can turn to learn more about relationship development, heart alchemy, heartbreak, spiritual wellness, and so much more. And so let's get into it. So the topic of today's video is attaching to the wrong one. I'm going to discuss how we tend to put off our intuitive urges, our intuitive nudges, signs, red flags, based on the fact that we attach ourselves to an outcome, to a person, and to an idea that we have in our minds. And this is something I feel is very important, something that I've had to learn the hard way for sure, and is what I think the basis to why a lot of us get ourselves into some very toxic relationship patterns. So before we get into it, I want to invite you to just take a moment to create a quiet space around you. And to just close your eyes, and we're going to take a few deep breaths to tune into our hearts and into our bodies. I'm going to play this crystal bowl, and it is in the tune frequency of the heart chakra, which is F. So let's just take a moment here. Awesome. So now that we're more centered in ourselves, we can get in on this topic of attaching to the wrong one. So we are all human, and I feel it is close to impossible to not experience ourselves attaching to something in this life. But what is important is being aware of the fact that this is a human tendency to want to attach. And when it comes to romantic relationships and picking a partner, it's very important that we understand how easily and how quickly we can attach to a person, to an outcome, a fantasy, or an idea that we have created in our minds. The reason why I feel this is an important topic that I want to share and bring awareness to is because it is that tendency to attach that gets in the way or acts as a block to our intuition when it comes to picking a healthy partnership for ourselves. And this is something I definitely have had to learn the hard way, which is why I feel to share it with you all now so you don't have to learn it the hard way. And one of the things that became very clear to me from my own journey is that when we have already formed an attachment to someone that we're dating or that we're seeing in relationship with, and we can feel that something is off or something may not be completely aligning, we may get certain red flags or intuitive urges, dreams. Maybe people in your life are telling you that they don't know how they feel about that person. It is very likely that you are going to ignore or push all of those things aside because of the fact that this attachment has already taken place. So, something that I would like to invite you to do for yourself when you have a moment, a free moment where you can be in a quiet space to reflect, is to get out a piece of paper and a pen and write out all of the ways that you see yourself attaching to certain outcomes and situations when it comes to your dating life and trying to find a life partner. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because when you can actually see on paper, or when you make it clear to yourself what it is that you easily get attached to, then you will be more aware when you're out in the dating world of what to notice about yourself and how you may be projecting your desires onto this new person that you're meeting, or also how you could get sucked in to a person portraying themselves to be exactly what it is that you are desiring. And this is especially important for those who have experienced narcissistic abuse or who think that they may be in a situation like that, because they definitely play that field of putting on this whole facade, this big show that they are going to provide you with all that you desire and be the things that you want. And so it's very important to be clear about what those attachments are so that you can place certain boundaries to allow people the time and space to reveal who they really are to you. Because words are just words at the end of the day. But what will really tell you who a person is or what a person's intentions are is their actions. And a lot of times when we get attached, it's because we're attaching to the words and to the promises, not so much the actions. We may have not even seen any actions yet. Or there could be a few actions, but there's a lot of contradicting ones as well. And so just take this opportunity to learn more about yourself, to understand what those attachments are. And I would like to share as well this card. I just want you to take a moment to look at this card. This is the Devil card in the tarot deck. A lot of people fear this card. There's nothing to fear. This card just represents attachment. It represents addiction. And it represents things that we have a hard time letting go of, things that we're chained to. And I feel like this card is actually the most perfect representation of how we can self-abandon and move outside of our integrity for the sake of what we are attached to, for the sake of what we may be addicted to. And it is this very energy that gets us into situations that are toxic, that gets us into situations where we are reliving patterns and over again with people that are not aligned with us for our highest good. And this card, the representation of attachment in this card, is the very thing that disconnects us from our intuition. Because we want something so badly that we choose to ignore all of the facts, all of the red flags, because we want what we want so bad, even if it means that it's not good for us. So what I would like you to exchange this energy for is this energy, the energy of the High Priestess. Okay, this is your intuition. This is your sovereignty. This is the intuitive urges and nudges. And I'm just gonna go out and say that if you're watching this video, let this video be your sign to listen to whatever it is that you're feeling. Those little urges, those little inklings, those little gut wrenches in your belly. Listen to that. Because our bodies and our intuition never lies. And the more sovereign that we become within ourselves, the more and more that we will listen to this type of energy instead of this energy. And in doing so, we need to have trust that life is going to bring us exactly to where we need to be when we need to be there. And to face our fears and let go of those attachments. Do not allow your attachments to rule over you, and do not for 1 second believe that you cannot have the things that you want in a healthy version. Because if it is with someone who is toxic and not good for you, not in alignment, that is not it for you. There is something better. And we sometimes just need to be willing to walk away and let go of those attachments and those outcomes and those projections and desires that we have, and just trust in the love that we have within ourselves, and that we are constantly being held by the divine in everything that we do, and that we're being led and taught through all of our experiences. So one of the other aspects of this attachment that I would like to bring into everyone's awareness is that the attachment to a certain outcome when we are dating and trying to find a partner, it can lead us to be dishonest with ourselves. And this is a very, very dangerous place to be in. And the reason why it's such a dangerous place to be in is because the moment that we are dishonest with ourselves, we begin to self-abandon and step outside of our integrity. And the moment that you do that is the moment that you begin to accept toxic, abusive, or very unhealthy behavior into your life. And this is why it's really important to be aware of what these attachments are for yourself, so that when you are out in the world, you can catch yourself before you move down a road like that. And another aspect to all of this that I would like to invite you to do once you have identified your attachments is to go over your values. Just write down things that you value. Write down things that you also really like about yourself, things that you notice that you bring to the table in relationships, and remind yourself of what those things are and what your values are, and hold on to that, because that is where you're going to be connecting to your intuition and your inner sovereignty. It is a commitment to the self. It is choosing to love yourself over any attachment. And when you can do that for yourself, you are grounded in your power and able to say no and walk away from anything and everything that is not good for you and not in alignment with your highest good. And you'll be walking towards something that is so much better for you and so much more aligned with who you are as a person. Okay, and that concludes today's video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you found this video helpful, as I share these things from my heart in hopes that people do take something away from this that is useful for you in your own life and your own journey. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you feel so called to, please subscribe to my channel. I would love that, as I have so much more to come, so much planned for the future. And I'm just really grateful and excited to be here. You can also follow me on Instagram. I will put the link in the description box below. And I really would love to create a community vibe on here, so please feel free to comment below with any of your thoughts, feelings, any questions that you have. Don't be a stranger. And I will see you next time. Bye.